What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of On the Bench with Pete, and I'm pretty excited because this week I'm going to start something new as well as tidying up what I've got on there already. I've managed to clear a couple of things off now. By now, as you must surely know, I've completed Magnus, and I'm in the process of finishing off some of the interesting miniatures and various other things. Marneus Calgar, I'd like to get him done. I'd like to do a bit more work on Guilliman if I could. And I'm going to start work on my asset Dropbox. Yes. So, if you're new to this series, this is a series that you put on in the background as you model or paint or whatever you do. And it's designed to kind of help the more mundane tasks of modelling, things you may not be particularly excited about. I don't know, painting straps or buckles on 100 guys or something like that. I don't know. Whatever it may be, then this is the video for you. So, yeah. So what you need to do is grab some brushes, models, glues, paints, whatever else you need. Most importantly, some liquid refreshment. So I've got my willow bark tea. I'll talk more about that later. I don't know what I'm going to talk to you guys about at this point in time. I've got no agenda as such. Got my glasses though, and I'm going to need those. So let's just get to the bench, shall we? Right. Okay. So I've got my asset Dropbox that my good friend Mifos sent over. From the goodness of his heart, he was just. He's an awesome hobby brother, and one day in the future I would like to meet him. I'd like to meet you, sir. But for now, here and now, I've already done an unboxing of this, so we know what's in here. So I'm just going to get the stuff out of the box on the bench. It's actually quite a handy little box. Could be useful for stuff. This popping candy is going to come in useful, and the lolly. That always helps when you're modelling, doesn't it? So we've got like a mini painting tutorial for the fur cloak in here as well. It's the Reaper model. Got a really cool base to go with it. And some extras, which is very nice. The browns that are going to be needed, I'm assuming, for the cloak, which is cool. Got lichen or lichen, however you say it, which I'm going to place. I'm going to place it up here with my other. Well, it's going in a drawer with some other basing materials for now. The Darklands model Mari Reaver Witch on foot. So a load of straw, which I don't think I'll be using, so let's just pop that into the bin. Packing bubbles there, so empty that out. So I'm basically left with an empty box, which could be used for storing a model, a large model or something like that. So that's going to be good. So I'm going to be keeping hold of this box, Mr. Mifos, to see what I can do with that. So I'm just going to pop it down to one side for a moment. Probably won't need the base for a while, so I'll put that to one side. The model, Mari, looks pretty awesome. Neus Miniatures, Darklands. The model, looking at the model, let's pop my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. It's kind of cool. This could be like a multi-usage model that I could use in either D&D or werewolf or even vampire. So just breaking that open there. Let's get the pieces out here. These blister packs are quite useful for using as mini pallets. Right, so that's going to be her left arm, and that's going to be her right arm. So I don't want to do any more really than assembling her today. Under the little base. Yes. So I have the choice of either putting her on a dioramic type base here, or on that little one there. Not a decision I need to make right now. Sponge, always good for weathering. I have a sponge drawer. So I'll just place that in, and there it goes. So this, which is going to be my mini palette. Let's pop that over there for a moment. Pick the paints up. I've got some other models to do as well. I've got Cypher to work on there, you can see him. But let's just have a look at this model here. I'm having a look around. I'll wash it once it's glued together, I think. I can see some mold release on it. Yeah, I'm just looking around the model for flash and things of that nature. So we'll start a little bit here. Bottom of the cloak. Now, anyway, enough of that. What I want to talk about, last on the bench, I started talking about werewolf. Right, so I don't need these. Yeah, I started talking about werewolf. Vampire. They were two games I used to play many moons ago now. But I used to play Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire the Masquerade. I'm sure anybody familiar with the World of Darkness will know those. But the ones I'm getting into now are Werewolf the Forsaken and Vampire the Requiem. So, two very different games. At least the Werewolf one is, because I'm currently reading that book. I haven't actually got my hands on the Vampire one yet, although it's on its way. I have ordered it from, I bought it from someone on eBay. Surprisingly, they're still quite expensive. They don't. In fact, their value has increased. I suppose because they're out of print now. Quite collectible, as it were. So a lot of people are after them. I'm looking for a. That might do the job. Yes. No, I'm not going to go crazy and go after all of the books that were ever done for it. That would just be silly, I think. Just enough to get some games in. Because, now for me, in my situation, it's actually easier for me to get an RPG game going than it is to get a tabletop game going. With the meta I have around here. People are into RPGs, but they're not into tabletop gaming, which is a shame. But that's just the way of it. That's just the way of things. But that's okay. I can live with that. Right. So let's. So you've got to be really... Yeah, I don't think that's part of her arm. Don't think so. But you've got to be really careful. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. This is pretty fine stuff. But I'm doing this on camera, so you can see me doing it. And it's very nice, and thank you once again to Mythos and Frost and Fists. Anybody that happens to be watching this video, who watches my videos but haven't checked out Frost and Fists yet, please go over and check out their channel. Really cool channel. I think you'll find a ton of good stuff over there. And, you know, in particular, the painting skills displayed by Freak and Mythos, they really are getting to be a force to be reckoned with in the painting circle, I would say. And I really enjoy looking at their showcases and things when they do them. Really come on. Now the hole in the top of the arm looks excellent. Okay. Just have a look at the angle here. I'm dry fitting to try and get a feel. So it's going to go like that, right. Got to be super careful. One of the things I like about getting back into Werewolf and Vampire, you know, the role-playing games, is that it gives me an excellent opportunity to look for, get and paint wolves and vampires. Yeah, it really is an excellent opportunity to do that. Not that, you know, anyone in the hobby needs an excuse to paint what they want to paint, but it's just a nice opportunity. I think, you know, it works out well. It's probably too far away from you, but I'm actually going super careful around the edges of this joining nodule here so that I can fit the arm on. The hole is actually a little bit smaller than the nodule itself. And I'm looking at a very fine detail here. Yeah, she could, this figure here could be like a shaman or something in Werewolf, or she could be like a witch or some other, like a cult person in Call of Cthulhu. You know, it's pretty cool. Right. Just trying to get... That ain't bad. Trying to get more of a snug fit. I think I'll have earned my lolly in a minute. Or even after, because I don't want to be talking to you with a mouthful of lolly, do I? Looking forward to the popping candy though, because I haven't had that in years, not since I was a kid. So I've been I've not been able to get to many videos of late, and I'm conscious of that, and I'm also conscious that like these on the benches aren't my most popular series in the world. I know that, but they're the ones I enjoy most, and the hobby is got to be about what you enjoy, hasn't it? Right, okay, so that I think it's time. Tiny bit of glue. Just gotta keep it in place for a little while. Gradually blow on it. I think we got it. Yes. Now that's the position I want the arm to be in. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. There we go. So that's the first bit done. Have a look at this leg. Doesn't appear to be much need cleaning off on the leg. Well, that's good. So we'll go with another dry fit, shall we? Nothing is clogged up. That's typical. Not very helpful. Right, try again. Go. This is the leg going on. So blowing on the glue. You've got to be patient with super glue sometimes, and especially with metal. Oh, have you got to be patient with metal? So it's odd because last week's on the bench I was building Tau. I think that's what I was doing anyway. And this week I'm building my heroine from the asset Dropbox. That's one thing I always thought they lie about. They say, "Oh, super glue bonds in seconds," but it doesn't, does it? It bonds in minutes. Just got to be patient. It'll be worth it in the end. I'm seriously considering putting her on the small base, using her for Vampire, Werewolf, Call of Cthulhu. The other base, I have a Dreadnought. I'm currently stripping some awfully painted thing from eBay, which I want to strip and redo, and still holding this in place. Yeah, I think it'd be a perfect base for a Dreadnought. That's what I'm thinking. Looks about the right size. Just waiting for this piece to dry. Come on. The arm is nicely dried. I've got to put another arm on. Can't believe all this time on the bench is being used, waiting for something to dry. I'll have a sip of my willow bark tea. Right, willow bark tea takes my restless leg symptoms away and minor pains. So, Get my lolly. Make sure no one's texted me. No. Got my phone on silent today. Remember to put my phone on silent, which is good for me. Okay, so that is going to go there. Right. Last piece of this to take away from the sprue and clean up. Oh, that's good. Got that piece off. We got some little fine bits to get out here. So here we go. Getting there, more or less. So there we are. That's mostly cleared from the sprue. So it's that kind of staff she's holding. quite delicate, so gonna have to be careful. So I'll use this file because it's a fine file, you see. So if I can put her together, then I can move on to some painting, get some paint going before the end of the show. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah. My wife's car goes in for repairs soon. Do you remember I told you someone drove into her car a while ago? It's all being done on the insurance, but oops, I think I've broken one of the little... Oh, that's not too bad actually. I was going to say I've broken one of the little seals, but that's okay. It's very difficult, and I'm not... If you can see... you can't see that. See there where the knife is? Let's move it up. That there joins onto there, but you wouldn't know it, so I'm just going to ignore that bit. Be careful of these. They are very brittle and fragile. It's a good challenge though, I like it. Make sure your hobby knife is sharp. I've got quite a new blade on this one at the moment, so should be okay. I was doing a spot more decorating yesterday, but I'm having a day off of it today because, you know, you can do too much painting, you know, on one-to-one scale, can't you? You know what I'm talking about. There's bits of flash which are very small. I'm happy with that. So what I've got to make sure is the nodule on her arm. Got to make sure that is okay. Now, being careful. It's more or less dry there. Yeah. So that's not bad actually. That's almost there. There we go. I was in Aldi the other day, yesterday actually. My wife had a acupuncture session whilst I was waiting for her. It's right opposite an Aldi in the city where we live, and I went walking around Aldi. I see they had airbrushes and compressors there. The airbrushes didn't look that great though. They were the siphon feed, which I don't like. I like the gravity feed ones. So I wouldn't have thought the airbrush would be that great. But the compressor looked quite cool. Similar to the one I've got. £65. I thought, well, that's about average, I suppose, for a compressor of that ilk. Let's get in there. Don't want too much. Right, so this is the last piece, as it were. So I can see I'm going to have to be super careful when washing it. I probably should have, in hindsight, should have washed it separately, but I wanted to get it built. She looks kind of like she belongs in something like Conan or something like that. The model, because she's got, well, obviously this amazing fur cloak, but she's got like necklaces, and even her sort of top is like lined with like, I don't know, wolf's teeth or something. I don't know. Oops. Not dry enough yet to let it go. I'm thankful it's not metal, because that would take quite a while to dry, wouldn't it? Go over halfway through this on the bench, and I haven't even started painting yet. Still, you don't want to rush things. It's a long piece with the arm, so you've got to be a little bit patient. So that's what I recommend, guys, with this model, putting it together. Patience. Just got to be patient. And I'm obviously not patient enough. It's funny because I was at this stage with the leg. Now I'm at this stage with the arm. It's because it's top heavy, you know. Come on. Please. Come on. Super glue. Hate working with it, always have done. Never liked super glue. I'll be honest, I cheated on my metal models. I used Activator. But I wouldn't want to use that on this because it leaves like a filmy residue. This one is going to be problematic. I could try the water technique. That is, put it on, submerge in water. Nope, not having it. Sometimes water acts like a activator. Okay, plan B. I have a plan C as well, so don't panic. So plan B is gel. Just a little bit more solid, I suppose. Plan C will involve a bit of green stuff. So all those moments of waiting and blowing were all for naught. See, green stuff is not ideal, but sometimes you have to do it. Hopefully the gel will be strong enough to hold it. I shall remember this. Remember this, folks. Watch Pete hold models together whilst the glue dries. This is a really exciting episode. I'm sorry about this, guys. It's a little more stable than it was. Not quite enough yet. But this is what, this is the trials and tribulations of scale modelling or model building, model painting, hobbying, wargaming. You've got to go through stuff like this. Oh, look at that, look. It's in place. Look at that, folks. She's holding it of her own accord. I'm going to pop it. Please don't fall. Don't want to lay it down. I don't want to put any undue stress on the join. There. It's in place. She's lying down on the job. Lazy git. But it means I can get on. Well, there it is. There she is, Mari. Yeah, there she is. And I am, like I say, I am thinking about using this base up. Maybe one of my other ones. I don't know. It's a 30mm base. But if not that, I shall use one of the other, like the War Machine ones. So I can have my Tina. That's good. Piece of rubbish to put in the bin. The only thing I've got left to build on my tower is my drones, and yeah, I haven't done them yet. I just wanted to get some painting done, ideally. So I'm looking at Marneus Calgar. Do the skull. Yeah, I'll do the skull on him. On his, looking for lead, not lead belcher. Iron breaker. That'll do. Iron breaker is good. I can pop these out of the way. Just the skull on his ultramarine symbol on the right hand side. So Marneus Calgar. Gonna have a silver skull. It's very humid lately, so that affects the paint. Makes longer to dry, makes them a bit more almost like they've been thinned down sometimes. There, so that's that. Quite like that. Going to highlight the wings on him here. So that's good. So I've built this Mari character now, which is good. And I'll be painting her up, I should say, in the near future. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a bit of iron breakers, not bad. There, not bad at all. That's looking quite good. Yep, I like that. Put a little wee bit on the ultramarine symbol, just on the center. It's Wednesday today. Probably, all being well, the same day I record this, you'll be seeing it, or have the opportunity to see it. Bit vigorous there with the water pot. Right, so I'm happy with Marneus Calgar. I was going to do some more on his base, but I'm liking where he's at. So I just need to wait for him to dry, and I can seal him. I can do some more work on this War Machine character here. So really, yeah, the pouches in the main cloak. So I need some lighter green, maybe. Like Ogren camo, that might work. Ogren camo. It's going to be a dry brush job. So I've got to dry brush there. I'll dry brush some Ogryn camo. Yeah. Shake up the paint. And we just want to hit the high areas. That's good. I've had this model on the go for I don't know how long. I can't even remember the name of it, that's how long it's been. But it will be nice to get it off the table eventually. You ever had a model that's been on your table so long you just keep staring at it and staring at it and you just don't want to paint it? Well, this was that model for me. Yeah. It's not bad. I quite like that effect. Quite like that. Yes, I do. Certainly better than it was. Right. So that was easy. Ogryn camo. Bit more tea. Always find washing out dry brushes harder than conventional ones. I suppose because you've worked the paint so well into the bristles. Right. So I've barely touched on painting. I must say I'm looking forward to using these paints here. Master Series paint, tanned leather. Feel like they might be a nice consistency. Yeah. So we've got charred brown, intense brown, and tanned leather. They look pretty awesome. And here is the Mari character. If I can just, she's got a bit of water on her at the moment from where I held her. So let me just try and dry that off first. And there she is. Can you see that? So she looks good. Looking forward to painting her. There's a lot of fine detail on her, so going to be interestingly challenging, I would say. So I'm going to pop her to one side. So I've got this little bit of space to work with now. So I've done a bit more on that. Maybe I could start using these paints on her hair. Thinking about it. The pouches. Charred brown. I'm going to have a look. I'm not going to thin it down. I'm going to use it straight from the bottle. Well, some nice consistency. Reminds me a bit of Rhinox hide. Mix it in a bit with my detail brush. So I'm going to apply the paint. You'll want a couple of layers. It's quite pigment thin, this one. They vary. You get that a lot with browns. They're quite pigment thin, I've noticed, in the darker browns. That is often the case. That's alright, just apply more coats. It's actually a little bit lighter than Rhinox hide, so not too worried about it at the moment. It's just a base coat for what I want. And there we go. I'm going to be using the other ones as well. That's not bad at all. So let that dry. Cypher, I want to do some edge highlighting with him. I think do some Eshin Grey straight out the pot, because it's edge highlighting. I don't really need to worry about it that much. And it's the first edge highlight, so it could be going quite thick. He's got these little ridges over his foot as well, which you get on the models. Okay, so never been brilliant at highlighting or painting blacks, although I think blues work quite well with it. Yeah. Not bad. I need to do his other foot. I'll do that last, I think. That's looking quite good. Quite like that. What a good effect. Catches fingers. I'll go on to Threshing Grey. I'll probably do Dark Reaper and then Thunderhawk Blue. Hopefully there'll be a bit of a transition going on. Edge highlighting, not my favourite. Hope I can pull off another two layers of highlight. So I think that's that. Behind his leg. So is summer here or what? Is it you know, because 1 minute is sunny, the next minute it's raining. What is that about? I hope you guys are having a better summer than I am. Although it's not been bad, I'll be honest. It's going quite well. It's this storm business that's really taking its toll. Lots of storms, and that's a bit. I don't like storms. Saves the question of watering the garden, though. There is that. Right. Then I think. He's done on the edge highlighting on the Eshin Grey anyway, so that's good. So Eshin Grey done. Dark Reaper will be next, although not right away. So I'll have a look at this other model. Anything else I want to do on him? Might do some Thunderhawk Blue on his hand and arm guards. Just realised I've lent in paint. Ugh. Better. Came off. Phew. So he's got some hand guards I want to see what Thunderhawk Blue is. It's going to be like a kind of a tester for Cypher, actually. But I'm painting it onto black grey, not black. So, mind you, the highlight goes on a kind of a black grey. Quite like the look of it. One. Bad, not bad. Not bad at all. One thing with the summer that's coming up is something I'm looking forward to is barbecue. I love barbecues, or cookouts, or whatever you call them. We call them barbecues over here in the UK. And yeah, I just love that taste. I don't know, it's a strange thing. Can't seem to replicate it any other time except on a barbecue. And you know, it's nice to have people over and drinks, and get merry, and yeah, no, it's good. It's just good. It's one of those life is good times, isn't it? I'm going to do the little strap and the hat blue too. Yeah, other than that, I think this chap is done. He's really weird. He's a strange figure, strange looking figure. You see him? I'm trying to do this mirrored without my glasses on. Anyway, yeah, so he's over there. He's not going to be like painted to a super extreme level. That's Thunderhawk Blue. It kind of looks quite good. I think it will look nice with Cypher. Well, we've gone over the hour anyway, so yeah, so we've used up the time slot. So I've started using these paints, which is cool. I've built Mari. There she is. I'm going to be super careful when I wash her. I am just going to do it really carefully. Take my time. I can see how fun this cloak is going to be when I come to do it though. That is going to be quite fun. Pretty awesome. And I am contemplating using this for Dreadnought, but yeah, we'll see on that one. But anyway, all good. I'm going to go and enjoy my lolly now. So I got some good work done there, I think. The building. Sometimes you can never tell with building, can you? In preparing models, sometimes it takes ages, sometimes it goes quite quickly. And today it went quite slowly, but I wanted to do it justice. So, but there, yeah. So I'm going to end it here. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of On the Bench. It's been a real blast. I'm sorry I didn't get a lot done, but I didn't feel like I got a lot done, but I hope you guys did. And let me know in the comments down below what you're working on. As always, I appreciate that, as you know. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. So till next time, remember, all brushes lead to war. And bye for now.